Hello and welcome to the Gangneung Hockey Centre. It's day one of the Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games, and you join us for para ice hockey action in Group A as Norway face Italy. I'm Jonathan Bell and I'll be taking you through this all-European affair as these two sides lock horns in their third ever Paralympic meeting. And there's great anticipation here as well at the Gangneung Hockey Centre, this 10,000 seat facility based 30 kilometres east of Pyeongchang in the northeast of the Republic of Korea, as these two sides make their way onto the ice now. Norway first in their traditional red and well backed as well by an army of travelling Scandinavians on the far side. Italy in their chain strip of whites now, with just a raucous reception from the locals who are here in numbers for this clash. A clash that sees two teams meet each other at a bit of a crossroads. Norway have a great reputation when it comes to para ice hockey. This is their 7th Paralympic Games. They were here the first time the Paralympic Games had para ice hockey back in Lillehammer 1994. And they've won 1 gold medal, 3 silvers and 1 bronze since. They're the only nation to get 5 consecutive medals. But the only exception to their fantastic total was in 2014 in Sochi. They'll be looking to put that right here as we see Kevin Webbinger, the Canadian official who will be taking charge of this one, and his linesman Jung Jin Chae of the Republic of Korea, and the Austrian David Nottegger as well. Of course, at any major international tournament, a strong start is key, and these two teams will be flirting around the same sort of position by the end of these Paralympic Games. Both of them finished on the same points at the World Championships here in Gangneung in 2017. And the meeting between the two sides 12 months ago saw Norway run out 1-0 winners, and Norway have won the 2 previous Paralympic meetings as well. But Italy are stronger than they ever have been, and Espen Hegda, the Norway coach, will certainly be well aware of that. So this is the Norway roster for this one. And Rolf Einar Pedersen, the number 3, certainly one to look out for. This is his 12th major international tournament. He's been part of the Norway team right from the offset. Also won Paralympic gold in 1992 in the cross-country skiing as well. Certainly not just a master of one art. As for the Italians, as I say, this is a program that is growing tournament on tournament, and they could be the dark horses of this one, with Florian Planka, the number 5, the defenseman, the Italian flag bearer for the opening ceremony for this Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Games. What an honour that must have been for him, but now the business is certainly all about what goes on the ice for the next 45 minutes. We are counting down to puck drop here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre. Group A action of the para ice hockey. Norway against Italy. Just a few moments away. The players soaking up the atmosphere for the final time before referee Kevin Webbinger will drop the puck in the centre. And we will be off with what promises to be a fascinating affair between these two proud European nations. It's Norway against Italy. And immediately it's picked up by the Italians as we get underway here. Caligaris just chancing his arm in the early stages, and Caligaris certainly a prominent part of the Italian offensive lineup. He got 7 goals in 7 games at the World Championships here in Gangneung 12 months ago. And Norway themselves have a lot of talent when it comes to the end zone. Varnes being one of them now, just trying to take control of the puck. Bakke with a nice offload. And Solberg then cracks it. But the Norwegian captain comfortably denied early on by Gabriel Araujo in the Italian net. Both teams certainly trying to put the opposition under pressure in the early stages and catch them cold, and they may do here. Kalogeras just couldn't wrap his right stick around it, and it was a pretty comfortable task there for Hamer to just divert it away. But a bit of room there for Kalogeras, who was slightly unbalanced, and perhaps if this game was in a bit of a later stage and the cobwebs were already off, he would have smacked that one in. He certainly smacked that into the frame of Knut Andre Nordstoga. Of course, first thing you'll notice about these para ice hockey athletes, the two sticks that they have, and one end of them has a pick, so they can propel themselves across the ice. As Planka goes for one towards the far post. So there's a lot of upper body strength required here for these athletes to get around at the speed that they do. And then, of course, they flip the sticks round to be able to stick handle and play with the puck and maybe make something of it. Solberg trying to make inroads behind the goal. He's well checked there down at the backboard, but Norway still keeping it alive in the end zone. As Klakegg chances his arm, and of course Klakegg the scorer the last time these two sides met at a major tournament back at the World Championships. As Norway make their first line change and Italy follow suit as well. Very well negotiated that initially there from Avdal, but he then conceded possession of the puck. Another strong connection behind the net, this time featuring the Italian Corvino, and Avdal was in there as well. But these two sides met in January in Turin at the Four Nations tournament, where Italy won on both occasions. The United States and Japan were there as well. Italy winning in the preliminary round by 7-2. Really uncharacteristic of the Norwegians to go down like that. And then they met again in the semi-finals. It was a lot closer that time around. Norway actually took the lead on 3 occasions, but lost in overtime 4-3. Kalogeras getting the overtime winner. But these two sides meeting each other halfway down the ladder right now. Norway not as strong as they have been in previous years, that's for sure, but Italy, the programme is as strong as it ever has been. Even start so far, and Bugler just couldn't bring the puck down. A difficult one to get under his spell. First few minutes, very important for both sides to maybe seize the initiative and put the other under pressure. Nerves will be present here. As Klakegg, maybe a bit of room. He's closed down, but still got it away. And goodness knows how the left glove there of Gabriel Araujo managed to get that over the pipe. I don't think he was too aware of that. There was a crowd of white jerseys that Klakegg managed to find a gap through, as Norway now really beginning to apply the pressure on the gas. Pedersen goes low, and then it's loose, and it's well marshalled away from Gianluigi Rossa. There's some protective gear on the ice, I think, as well there, which didn't help things too much. You can see the yellow item just in the hash mark. The early wave having to be ridden by Italy. As Norway there were really peppering away at Gabriel Araujo's goal. Now Italy have an opportunity to pin the red jerseys back inside their own defensive zone. Planka was an ambitious one from an angle. Just took a nick on the way through from the right glove of Hamer. Now, has that stayed alive in the end zone? Yes, it has. Kalogeras can try and maximise the pressure that Italy are now beginning to bring to the table. And as the pendulum swings from one side to another, and it was just behind the presence there of Kaufman in the centre, and Norway just managed to clear their lines, and maybe Pedersen can make a break through the lines, getting towards the goal line. And on this occasion it was Kalogeras, out of all people, getting back on defensive duty. Planker now. No one really grabbing hold of the puck and just calming things down here, which is certainly great for the neutral as Kalagaris flies into Nordstoga. Don't let anyone tell you that para ice hockey isn't physical and it isn't fast, and there's a lot of ferociousness involved as well, and you've already seen that in the first 6 minutes or so here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre. Goalless between Norway and Italy here in Group A. Planker just dumping it into the corner. There was no one in Italian white ready to accelerate and give chase. But the end-to-end nature of this game continues. Hamra put under strong pressure there and concedes the puck. Planker, flick of the right wrist, but the line change was being made on the far side, so there was no one on this near side to get on the end of it. And now Norway coming forward with Pedersen. Well, the two number threes there, both with abundance of experience between them, but Rossa giving it away after doing so well to win the puck back initially there. Rossa almost was the orchestrator of his own downfall. Very busy tempo early on, but maybe now the nerves are beginning to dampen down a wee bit and both sides can show how they can play. Yes, that was, well, not one but two thumps into the wall there from Werner Winkler. And then a shot which may have just squeezed off the pipe there. An impossible angle it seemed for Corvino to have an opportunity as we get the first icing of the game. And a first real break. Norway 0, Italy 0. It has been a frenetic start, but both sides have weathered the early storm, and that was the shot there that you could just see come off the outside of the pipe. But neither goaltender with reason to panic so far. First thought of Bacca is get it forward. And he does. But no one in red to receive possession. Good tracking back from Martin Hamra. Getting the interception in there, and then at the second attempt trying to thread it through. And no love loss on this near side. Of course, that bit of needle involved with these two sides being big European nations. Norway in particular in the world of para ice hockey, and Italy definitely joining them on the mantle in recent years as well. Norway definitely weren't at their best 12 months ago at the World Championships in 2017 at Gangneung, and they only scored 4 goals in 5 matches, not including their 6th game against Sweden, which they comfortably won by 6-1. But apart from that, they were pretty teethless in front of goal, the Norwegians, and certainly not how they usually tend to be. Raudo comfortably plants his glove onto that one. We will get our first time out. Norway 0, Italy 0.
The spectator area with great force at any time.
So relief, I'm sure, for both coaches. The Norwegian Asbjørn Hegde, just 32 years of age. Of course, he is assisted as well by Ole Eskil Dahlström. Opportunity to just get the troops back and discuss what's happened in the first half of this first period. chances few and far between. Caligaris there. You just feel like if he managed to wrap that right stick around the puck, he really could have chanced his arm, and that save there from Araudo. Probably the closest we've gone to a goal. Maybe from distance from Clackegg, but it certainly caused issues. Just on the left of your screen there as well is Lena Schroeder, the only female para ice hockey player at Pyeongchang 2018. Back and away. And Norway trying to camp themselves back inside the Italian end zone like they did a few moments ago. Italy had their backs against the wall momentarily, but since then Norway haven't really used that as a token of momentum. And Italy, after weathering that storm, have looked unfazed ever since, but still this one on a very even keel, as we suspected beforehand. Mistakes, certainly, it's clear early on, have to be minimal from both sides in order to prevent the other from seizing the opportunity, and that they certainly will. Comfortable for Kjell Christian Heimer, just slightly warming up his gloves there. Now Varnes getting into the thick of the action. And the puck loose and picked up on, and the drive through, squeezes for an opportunity for Italy here. Can they negotiate the way through? It's hit the side of the pipe, and it was Stefan Kaufman who had the opportunity. Still Italy piling on the pressure. Rossa dispossessed, but the second puck picked up by Caligaris, who's dangerous from that position. Pedersen aware of it and quickly got it away, and then Caligaris inadvertently just threading it all the way back into the Italian third, but Massimo Darin will be encouraged by that phase of play. Caligaris trying to ghost his way past Solberg, but Solberg got a nick on it, lost his stick in the process as well, and Italy will recycle possession and come from the back once more. We'll have a face-off in the centre there, the use of the hands, and with 3.5 or so minutes remaining in the first period, it really has gone by quickly, hasn't it? Italy almost getting the upper hand in this. Cavalier just trying to get the offload towards Stephen Kaufman, and the 31-year-old taking part in his first Paralympic Games, failing to get the effort on target. Italians with a spring in the sledge here as the first period has worn on. Winkler, no real support on this near side. He'll hop back to the safe option instead. There's a bit of space open on the far side now, possibly for De Pauli. But his pass is loose. And Clackegg, cool as you like, manages to find a Norwegian in red. Now Oyseth making his first contribution to this fixture. Couldn't quite find Hamra, drifting from the right-hand side. And people still coming in here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre. It's a very good turnout, this. Of course, when the home nation Republic of Korea are in action, we expect an awful lot of seats to be filled, but the fact that Norway and Italy can also attract this sort of numbers is very encouraging indeed. And they've certainly got the wits about them, the locals, to come out for this, because it's so tense and so tight, and a game that really won't offer too many goals, but when we get one, it'll be very important indeed. De Pauli there crunching in, and there will be a penalty called by the referee. And it will be indeed against the Italian Christophe De Pauli. fact, no, he was the victim of that one, and going off instead will be Thomas Avdal. This is the replay of it. And you could just see that the holding call. Avdal refusing to let go of De Pauli. It's the first power play of the game. And it goes the way of Italy. So the final 2 minutes of the first period will be spent with Italy having a 5-on-4. And this could be a very crucial time to gain first blood.
Team Norway, penalty number 24, Thomas Avdal. 2 minutes for holding.
How can Italy maximise this situation then? Rossa, nice offload back from him. This is well played, but Planka there just wasn't quite on the same wavelength as Macri. And Macri will look to get things going once again. Finds Planka this time around. Surges down the outside right and flashes it towards the far top corner. Neymar untroubled. And now Norway perhaps trying to sting Italy down at the other end. Bacca doing his best there, attracting 3 white jerseys and trying to gain the penalty kill, just putting it behind the Italian net, but Italy quickly getting things back. Norway are covering the spaces very well at the moment, just on the blue line. And another wasted pass from Macri. Good first minute from Norway in the penalty kill. And this now the final minute of the first period. Goalless here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre in Group A between Norway and Italy. Is there going to be one last opportunity for Italy to make the most of this? Caligaris back on the ice, trying to make the most of the situation. Rossa's shot is spilled there by Heymar, and there was no one flooding around the goal mouth to make the most of that. And with 30 seconds remaining, will that be the last opportunity that Italy get to ensure they make the most of this power play? Macri. Italy spending a bit of time there, dangerously close to the blue line and disrupting all momentum. But I think Norway are going to shut this one out, and not only shut out the power play, but the first period as a whole, as Avdal now propels his way back onto the ice. Maybe that phase there has been counterintuitive to Italy. First period has been very close indeed, with minimal errors. And at the end of it, Norway perhaps will be the happier of the two, managing to fend off the Italian power play at the back end of the first period. After Norway had much of the better in the early stages, Italy grew stronger but couldn't make the most of that 2-minute power play. It means that the scores at the end of the first period: Norway 0, Italy 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Unattended property could be considered a security risk and may be confiscated by police. Please keep your belongings with you at all times.
안내 말씀드리겠습니다. 방치된 물건은 보안상 위험 요소로 간주되어 수거될 수 있으니 개인 소지품 관리에 주의해 주시길 바랍니다.
Fans, welcome back to the ice, Team Norway.
관중 여러분, 노르웨이 팀 선수들을 환영해 주십시오.
Fans, welcome back to the ice, Team Italy.
이어서 입장하는
As we welcome the
이탈리아 팀
teams back onto the ice, we
선수들입니다.
welcome you back to the Gangneung Hockey Centre at the start of the second period of this Group A clash at the Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. Norway 0, Italy 0. Certainly a game few on opportunities. Probably the best chance for Norway in that first period being the effort from distance from Jan Klakeg, which forced an impressive stop from Gabriel Araudo in the Italian goal. Italy hit the post at the other end from a tight angle, but this game at the moment with the feel of a car, the gas is certainly being applied, but the handbrake is on, and we're just waiting for that goal to release the handbrake and really get going here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre. Fantastic atmosphere over the course of the first 15 minutes. Norway probably the happier out of the two in the end, based on the fact that they survived the Italian power play for the final 2 minutes. But Italy certainly are a threat. Who will draw first blood? Will this period tell us? We're about to find out at the start of the second period. Norway against Italy. Great roar from the crowd, greeting the puck drop for this second phase of 15 minutes. It was a cagey affair at the World Championships in 2017, Norway winning that by 1-0. The goal coming in the second period from Jan Klakeg, and he's gone the closest so far with that drive from just inside the blue line, which Gabriel Araudo managed to divert over the posts. There's been no change in either goal at the start of this second period. With the Norwegian stopper, Kjell Hammer, stopping 4 from 4, Araudo 3 from 3. Just shows how little opportunity both offensive lines have had to unleash the puck towards the opposition goal, but now there's the opportunity as bearing through is Caligaris, and Caligaris gives Italy liftoff. He does not miss those, and the Italians are up and running at the Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Games. Just seconds inside the second period, it's the Italians striking first. Norway 0, Italy 1. He is absolutely lethal. 7 from 7 at last year's World Championships. He certainly likes this venue. And the first chance he's had to really look Kjell Hammer in the eyes. And he just slides it off the right stick onto the left. On that ambidextrous bit of play in front of goal, that bit of nuance from Caligaris gives Italy the upper hand.
Team Italy goal scored by number 9.
Big blow for Espen Hegda and Norway. The first goal was always going to be crucial in this one, and that was certainly the release of the handbrake that we wanted in the intermission. The car was ready to start, the gas was there and being applied, and we just needed someone to take the initiative in front of goal and get the car started. And Caligaris, always the favourite to do that in the Italian ranks. And that's going to have to take someone in red to really sit up and be countered. Klakeg trying to make inroads. It's been forced back, and the effort from distance was never going to find its way through, wasn't it, with the crowd of white in front of Thomas Avdal there. Norway just trying to pitch up their tents inside the Italian end zone like they did for quite a chunk of the first period in the early stages. They had a 2 or 3 minute spell where Italy were really on the ropes, but ever since then they have threatened little. Opportunity for Cavaliere, the Italian captain, to just put his stick on the puck. Amri there doing his best despite the heavy pressure of Nils Larch to keep things alive. The right side of the blue line is rather Norwegian persuasion. But now they have to look to go again. Huyseth onside. But Rosa, as ever, collected and cool in those scenarios, and the 30-year-old once again managing to oust it away. Gianluigi De Rosa is best defenseman at the 2013 qualification tournament for these games as Italy look to go again, and what a big save that could be from Kjell Harmer, managing to somehow deny Christophe De Pauli, who was looking to get his first Paralympic goal. But Kjell Harmer making a very important stop indeed, and a second goal in such quick succession surely would have given Norway a mountain to climb. The Italians so quick right now to close down the Norwegians, and certainly putting in the mileage here. It does really tire the upper body of these para-ice hockey athletes, with propelling themselves towards the action with those two sticks that act like skis on the defence, and of course can be flipped over to then stick handle. Either side has the puck, and Italy are the ones who have it once again. Calaguera's closing down Pedersen. There may be a gap on the far side. He went for goal instead. Planka does ultimately get it. That's Leperdi. Pedersen putting himself about as ever. Pedersen, the only skater in the first period to clock 10 minutes or more. That's how vital Leperdi is to the fabric of the Norwegian side. Macri just find the gap on the right-hand side of the ice. Pedersen mopping things up. But this isn't really the response that Norway wanted, because again it's Italy pressing, and Leperdi asking a question or two there of Kjell Harmer. Italy trying to catch him while Norway are rattled, and a welcome break for Norway now, who are behind from that early Calaguera's goal in the second period. Norway 0, Italy 1. This is the opportunity then for Christophe De Pauli. Fantastic find from Rosa, and De Pauli stopped there by Kjell Harmer, and it came off the protective legwear of the Norwegian goaltender, who must have not known at all where that puck was going to be flying towards. Lady luck on the Norwegian side, but Espen Hegde there in the centre of your picture, looking quite concerned right now because of this goal from Sandro Calagueras, the 27-year-old former Austrian international, for converting to the Italy, making sure his coach delighted from that only goal of this game so far. Great expression of joy from Massimo Dorin, the head coach of the Italian programme. And that puck hit the net a few minutes ago from Sandro Calagueras, who scored the winner against Norway in the Four Nations tournament, the pre-Paralympic warm-up if you like, earlier in 2018 against Norway in that 4-3 win. Well, certainly harder to come by in this game so far. The pressure already on Norwegian shoulders in their first game of this Pyeongchang 2018 games. Also in Group A, there's Canada, the reigning world champions, and Sweden as well. Sweden a side who qualified by the skin of their teeth in the qualification tournament for these games back in October 2017 in Östersund. So both sides will fancy the chances against them, but these two competing for a spot on the podium know the importance of getting an early win under their belt against a big rival. Pedersen again, always seems to be where the puck is about to land, inside his own end zone. Rossa just manoeuvring the puck under his sledge there. There is room under the sledge for both sets of players to interchange between the two sticks, and that improves the stick handling as Bugler gets past one, gets past two, blocked by Rossa. Oyseth, big block of white in front of him. Nordstoga will keep things alive in the end zone. But great play there from Magnus Bugler, who made his Norwegian debut against Italy back in 2009 in Turin. What an important goal that would have been. Inadvertently offloaded by Niels Larch there for Bugler. Line change from Italy, who managed to set their stall out at the back just about to prevent any Norwegian progression. But this affair has tightened up since the timeout around 2 or 3 minutes after the Caligaris goal. The stick lying around midway inside the Norwegian end zone. I can't quite see whose stick that is, but that could cause some issues in the not too distant future. Nordstoga, his play continues, saw the space on the far side, but there was no one in red destined to be there. And then a heavy collision coming in from Martin Hamre, and that will be a penalty. Delayed penalty called by the Canadian official, and that will come now, and I think that's for teeing. We will wait and find out what the call is. Indeed it is. If you come into the side of an opposition using the end of your sledge, that is a teeing call. Unique to para ice hockey, of course, and just a rush of blood there from Martin Hamre, who certainly has the endurance to make his way around the ice. He finished second in the 2015 Oslo Marathon wheelchair race. Now we'll have to sit in his sledge for the next 2 minutes, charging, in fact, the call. So Italy with a second power play, couldn't make the most of the first one. What is their efficiency like in the next 2 minutes here? Norway were so strong 4-on-5 at the back end of the first period, but they certainly wouldn't have wanted to go through this again. And Lapierre had a bit of time there before chancing his arm. Now purring is Rossa, forced out wide, but could just drag it back across. It's very crowded in the centre. Lapierre, the Italian representative, against the 3 red jerseys. And in the end, it's thwarted by Kjell Hamre and the combination of him and his defenceman. But testing times for Norway. Martin Hamre watches on. Confirmation of that charging call there. Looks as though Norway are going to come to the end of this first minute of the power penalty kills, should I say, and be unscathed. But Italy, with their tails up, have room now. As coming forward with it. There's the opportunity there for Macri, and Norway just managing to get their lines clear, and Caligaris just couldn't quite get a bearing of where the puck was then. I think it bounced under his sledge, which made it almost impossible for him to get his favoured right stick onto that. But you can see the nod of the head there from Caligaris. He knows he's getting the opportunities, and he knows he's capable of putting them away, but it's always going to be difficult, isn't it, when the puck just bounces under the bottom end of your sledge. So well into the second half of the second period here in Gangneung. Norway 0, Italy 1 in Group A. And the crowd certainly enjoying what they're watching right now. And particularly a small pocket of those who have made a trip from the Mediterranean to the northeast of the Republic of Korea for these games. Their side leads by a goal to nil. Rosa. Oh, it's found its way through, and Blanca just couldn't keep it down. And still the puck is alive, and it's alive inside Norwegian territory, but it's slipped just through the grasp there of Italy. And now Oyseth has an opportunity to charge into space. Good strength coming in from Lapurdi as the power kill has indeed been achieved by Norway. And Hamra back onto the ice and immediately faced by Planka, who almost looks as if he's going through a chicane there before throwing it for Rossa, who goes past one. He tries to glide his way towards Hamer, and then he's taken out right at the last, and that will be another penalty against Norway. And you could say it was necessary from Oyseth, but he was pulling Rossa there as he bared down on goal. And this has been a very tough 10 minutes in the second period for Norway, hasn't it? Kjellhammer left exposed. Well, the opportunity came in there, and I don't think there was an infringement, you know. Fair challenge from Oyseth. And Norway indeed will survive that phase. Back 5-on-5. Rossa for hooking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we remind you that flash photography is not allowed at any time.
So it's Gianluigi Rossa then for hooking on Oyseth.
촬영 플래시를 이용한 촬영을 금지하고 있습니다.
And he will be the man sitting out the next 2 minutes. So first chance now for Norway with the man advantage.
2 minutes for hooking.
And as the complexion of this game could change somewhat.
이탈리아 팀 3번 지안루이지 로사 킥패널 공격을 부탁합니다.
Big opportunity for Rossa there to double the advantage. Oyseth doing so well to get his presence involved. And the unnecessary hooking call against Rossa. Meaning that Italy will slog it out for the next couple of minutes. A man down. Varnes. Haven't seen too much of him in this game so far. Tries to flick it back towards Bacca. Heavy collision between him and the Italian defenseman. Italy now having to be resolute, and so far doing just that. And in fact could catch out Norway at the other end here. It's a fantastic bit of movement from Lars, who was ghosting his way behind 2 or 3 red jerseys who thought the puck was going to go the other way. Larch made the break, but could be exposed. As Varnes now charging. Massimo Dorin on the bench, really encouraging Norway to get back here. They're a bit slow too, and there's a man over as well. Solberg just waiting in the middle. Will it come to him? Good opportunity this. And a save somehow from Nordstoga, and Varnes can't miss. And he doesn't. And Norway are back level, and both number 9s have now etched their name onto the score sheet. And how big a goal could that be for Norway? Morten Varnes in his 4th Paralympic Games, has got a much-needed equaliser on the Norwegian power play. Norway 1, Italy 1. Well, Nordstoga initially was the one making the inroads, and I don't quite know how Gabriel Araujo managed to thwart him. And Varnes there had no one in white attracted towards him. Almost stopped himself from doing the scoring. Bit of a reckless flick with the left, but a composed one with the right did just enough to slide the puck into the back of the Italian net. Varnes with the equaliser. The 36-year-old is partner of Lena Schroeder, the only female representative at this Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. And just see on the replay there how delighted she was on the Norwegian bench when that one just about hit the back of the net. So parity restored from Norway in what was looking to be an ominous spell for them. They've turned it around, and we're back to the position that we were at the start of this period. Hamra just didn't quite get it under control as he'd like, but it almost worked out well there for Klakegg. Bugler not giving it up, and Cavalier certainly feeling the presence of the Norwegian as well. Great competitive nature between these two sides. They are well aware of how important this game is in the whole grand scheme of this Paralympic Games, and Rossa almost got his side back in front. Well, it was a 2-on-1 in favour of Italy there that Rossa couldn't quite make the most of. Big save from Kjell Hammer, not for the first time in this game. But those Norwegians still not looking fully confident, are they? But they'll feel a lot better about themselves than they did a couple of minutes ago. One apiece as we chug towards the dying embers of the second period. Will there be one last sting in the tail from either of these outfits? Norway in red, 5-time Paralympic medalist against Italy, who are yet to get on the podium, but have certainly parachuted wonderfully in the last 12 years towards being potential dark horses. Bakker. Just get the feeling now that momentum is with Norway for the first time in this period. That power play efficiency coming to the fore, something that was missing at the World Championships last year. In the one particular game, Norway beat Germany in overtime, but it was a game they should have been winning over the course of the 45 minutes, and a lot of that game was spent with Norway with a man advantage, but not maximising the potential awards from that. This time they have, and the final minute of this period is now upon us. Both sides just content in going in at one apiece. Italy certainly wanting more from it. Loose from Planko, doesn't put in a bad area though. Nordstoga immediately put under pressure. Norway having to move the puck quickly due to how quickly Italy are closing them down, but you have to say that's vice versa as well. Either side has had real time on the puck in this. Maybe frenetic. It's certainly enthralling. And I think we're going to go right down to the wire here. Pedersen. Room for Bugler. Heavy first contact on the right stick, which ultimately led to the puck leaving him, and Hamra is in front of Nordstoga, who will go alone. Now Bugler. Italy again swarming back in that pack in the heart of their end zone to make sure that they shut out Norway. And the second period will end all square, just as it did at the start. But Italy looked as if they were going to be the ones to end it ahead. Caligaris, right at the start of the second period, putting the Italians in front, but Norway managing to peg them back. It means at the end of the second period, we are all square once more. Norway 1, Italy 1.
이 피리어드 슈팅 숫자를 발표하겠습니다. 노르웨이 팀 2회, 이탈리아 팀 7회입니다.
2-1. It's a tie game right now. What do you think will happen in the next period?
Sorry to say, Italy, we're gonna win.
노르웨이가 이길 거라고 얘기하시네요.
Norway comfortably.
By how many goals? 몇 골로 이길 것 같아요? By how many goals?
2-1 is enough.
2-1, 2대1로 노르웨이가 이길 것 같다고 하네요. 네, 마지막으로 It's so nice to meet you guys. So I am going to give you guys a 감사합니다. 축하드립니다. Thank you guys so much. 감사합니다. 네, 저 지금까지 김한나였고요. 남은 경기 즐거운 시간 보내세요. Guys, thank you for joining us. See you guys soon.
Welcome back to the ice, Team Norway.
노르웨이 팀 선수들을 환영해 주십시오.
Welcome back to the ice, Team Italy.
이탈리아 팀 선수들을 환영해 주십시오.
All right, fans, we are going to try to set a record for how loud we can get the Gangneung Hockey Center today. This is our first game. We want this crowd to be the loudest, so we want you to get loud, people.
Two periods down, just the one to go, and still nothing separating Norway and Italy. This all-European clash in Group A here at the Para Ice Hockey at the Pyeongchang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. That man there on your screen now, Morten Varnash, managing to drag Norway back level after Sandro Calageras gave Italy an early second period lead, and Italy were on top for much of that second period, registering 7 shots to Italy's 2. However, one of the big opportunities for Italy in that second period came when Gianluigi Rosso was bursting through towards Kjell Hamer's goal, and ultimately ended up being penalised for hooking on Oloise. Norway managed to get themselves back on terms during that power play. And back to square one we went. Calageras, who made the most of his one opportunity so far in this game. The effort from distance there just flipped away by Kjell Hamer, who certainly has been the busier of the 2 goaltenders. That's the 11th save he's had to make so far in this game, compared to his opposite number, Gabriel Araudo's 4. But Norway's goal coming during that power play at a time when Italy seemed favourable to get the second. One of the big opportunities as well came for Christophe De Pauli, who was denied by the shin protection of Kjell Hamer. Unbeknown to him, he managed to just get enough on it to get it away. You knew much more about that effort there from Planka. As Italy now try and get some territorial advantage. Calageras finding Planka again, almost squeezed it through in behind the 3 red jerseys that were on the back line there. But Norway comfortably deal with it, and Varnes again is purring towards goal, and Varnes may have room for an effort. It's a fantastic denial by Planka, who had Pedersen on one side of him, and then the front of Varnes on the other. Now to the other main number 9 in this game, Calageras, well thwarted by Nordstoga. Canuck Andre Nordstoga, the 35-year-old, played a big part in Morten Varnes' goal. It was his initial brilliant stick handling that got him into the area towards Gabriel Araudo's goal. And after being initially denied by the Italian goaltender, his persistence paid off and he threaded it through for Varnes, who I would say comfortably, but it wasn't the most comfortable watch for the Norwegians. As Varnes fluffed his lines at the first effort, but gratefully put it away with the second. Norway out on top from that face-off, and Pedersen just sliding across the board on the near side. A lot of experience in the Norwegian side. One of the athletes that are taking part at Pyeongchang 2018 have been there and won medals for Norway in para ice hockey before. But when you've got programs like the Italian one coming up and really progressing tournament on tournament, it is difficult for Norway to encourage the new blood to come in and still stay at the high level that they set themselves. Norway, the only nation to get 5 successive medals in para ice hockey at the Paralympics. The time they haven't medalled was in Sochi 2014. And they'll be looking to finish higher than they did there. They finished 4th, losing 3-0 to Canada in the bronze medal match. Bugler just couldn't get his bearings, and before he knew it, there were 2 white jerseys around him. Bugler not giving it up. Both of these sides have the same programme, with Canada and Sweden in that order to come. It will be Italy taking on Canada on day 2 before Norway lock horns with the Maple Leafs on day 3. And both of these sides end with Sweden. Italy facing the Scandinavians on day 3, and Norway in that big rivalry between the two nations on day 4. Bugler. And we get a first sniff of an opportunity in this final period. He manages to pull it back. It missed the first jersey, but Oyseth managed to fire it across like a laser. And Raudo not only managed to capture it with the left glove, but cushion the impact and make sure it was safe in there as well. Will Oyseth's eyes must have lit up there. The 19-year-old, youngest Norwegian in the roster. He must have been certain that he'd done everything right there to find the net. Carnage there. Face-off circle, but ultimately for Italy, it comes good as Rossa makes up the yardage and will score. It's a fantastic goal from Gianluigi Rossa, who took the puck from inside his own defensive zone, went all the way to the hash mark and fired a high effort that Araudo may have got a sniff of, but it came off the underside of the bar and over the line, and Italy once again regain the lead. Norway 1, Italy 2. Out of absolutely nothing. Hamer just got a touch on it there, but not enough of a nick to divert the puck away from the goal. Well, certainly a contrast of reactions on the Italian bench between the managers. But I'm sure they're all feeling the same emotion inside. How big a goal will that be from Gianluigi Rossa, who is in his 10th year now as part of the Italian side. And he was the best defenseman at the 2016 Euros as well. Part of the 2009 World Cup A-Pool All-Star team. He's got big pedigree as Rossa in the Italian ranks, and goodness me, he's popped up with a goal right when it matters. And back the pendulum swings towards the Mediterranean outfit. Timeout called. Big team talk for Norway. Trail by 2-1.
All of our volunteers.
Massimo in there, the 57-year-old. He's also head coach of Milan Rosoblu. Back in Italy, but his attention certainly focused on his Italian para ice hockey side right now, who lead Norway thanks to that goal. And it may have took a slight defection there off Kjellheimer, but Rossa with so much dynamite in that right stick just leathered the puck past Kjellheimer. I don't know many goaltenders at these Paralympic Games who would have saved that, if any. Norstoga quickly recycling the puck. Norway with 10 minutes remaining to get something out of this one and at least force overtime. Where, of course, if we do end in a draw after the regulation of 45 minutes, both sides will get a point, and then a bonus point will be given to the side that manages to come out on top in overtime. And even if after overtime we're all square, then we'll go to the shootout. Varnes had pressure in his back there, which meant it was always going to be difficult for him to make something of that, but penalty has been given here by the referee, and it looks like the man reluctantly now coming towards the near side is the Italian captain Gianluca Cagliari. And I think interference is the call on that occasion by the referee Kevin Webbinger. Indeed, interference the call for Nordstoga. As again, Norway, just like they were in the second period, given a lifeline with the power play, they made the most of it on that occasion. Will it be 2 from 2? Bakker, nicely manoeuvred for Nordstoga. Good movement in front of him. Varnes from a tight angle, just finds the midriff there of Araujo, who survives unscathed. And Italy still in front from that first phase of the penalty kill. So it's Andrea Macri who is off. Indeed, for interference, confirmation of that for you. Italy surviving the first minute, but we will now get a 4-on-4 situation because the penalty against Norway is conceded by Lloyd Solberg, who again is perplexed by the decision. But Italy, after managing to get their way out of the first minute of the penalty kill, will not have to master another minute because Solberg off for holding an opponent. And we're back to both sides having the same amount of skaters on the ice. 4-on-4 now it is. Opportunity missed by Norway, and they haven't got many more opportunities coming their way with such little time remaining, you would suspect. And of course, at the end of the penalty against Italy, and Macri being back on the ice, it will be Norway then with the player deficit. Funny how quickly in para ice hockey things can just swing from one direction to another. And goodness me, both sides have experienced their fair share of that in this game. Now there are still 8.5 minutes remaining. Claquet trying to punish the Italians for conceding possession there, but he failed to. An error from him, a rare one it has to be said, as he pushes it the wrong side of the blue line towards Varnes. Confirmation of Solberg off the ice for the holding call. And he'll be off for another minute or so. 20 seconds remaining of the Italian penalty. And then Andrea Macri will be back on the ice. Bogler. Norway are going to have to get set soon to defend the Italian power play, as Italy are now back to full strength. Planka, nice switch towards the near side. What can Rossa do? Like a tennis court there, flicking it back to where it came from. Now Planka, bit of room perhaps, threads it back inside. Opportunity for Rossa, and that surely would have finished the game off, but he is denied a brace. Still Italy come, and Hamer flapping the puck away at his near post, and Italy are still looking menacing, and it's threaded into the centre. And inadvertently from Bogler, just diverted towards his goal, but wide. Still Italy coming forward as Norway are now back at full strength again. We're 5-on-5, but Italy definitely the dominant out of the two and leading by 2-1. With half of the third period still to come. Claquet dispossessed by Rossa. Fantastic physical presence. What can he do with the puck at his stick? Pedersen back there. Both sets of players struggling to keep their balance there. which is something that you don't see too often. And those sledges, you can see the blade underneath. There's a bit of support either side of the sledge so that players are able to manoeuvre to one side and the other, like a motorbike going around a tight corner. But it's still hard for the skaters to keep upright, and that's where the sticks come in handy as well. Such a testing sport this, and it's a real test of Norway right now, and a test of the Italian nerves as well, because you would expect another wave of pressure from Norway in the next 6 minutes, but if it's going to come, it's going to have to come pretty soon. Claquet immediately looking forward. Who's his option? It's a fantastic take from Bakker. Dispossessed though immediately there by Niels Larch. Nordstoga charging forward in a big collision between Cavalera and Solberg, the two captains there locking horns. Larch, too much for Pedersen, but Nordstoga's had a solid game on the back line for Norway, there once and there twice. Good offload for Pedersen, great stick handling from him underneath the sledge. Good switch to Solberg, who's onside. Norway with everyone inside the offensive zone, and it's slammed through from Solberg and drifts wide of the Italian right-hand upright. Pedersen. Bakker, can he orchestrate something special? No one in front of him. Support on the near side with Pedersen, had room to go into, but couldn't keep control of the puck. Will get a second bite of the cherry. Important stage of the game this. Solberg, Bakker with him. Denied the first time around. Claquet trying to pick up the pieces. Solberg in there as well. Squirms through for Claquet. Great save from Araudo with his left glove. And the puck will be killed, will it? Yes, it will. Kevin Webbinger having to halt the madness. But Gabriel Araudo, the 43-year-old, with a very important save, perhaps a game-saving save, denying Claquet. Italy remaining in front.
이번 경기를 위해 열심히 준비한 선수들에게 힘찬 응원과 박수 부탁드립니다.
Well, the body language of the Norwegians there, not as dejected as you may suspect. The crowd is certainly loving it. The locals getting involved with Norway and Italy as well. It's a very good turnout for this Group A game. Italy with their spell, and that from Bugler could have gone anywhere. Rossa trying to penetrate as well, Harmer's goal, but then it seemed to shift, and that save from Araudo, perhaps the most important of the final period, before absolute bedlam followed. And you can see Araudo there laying on his front, managing to try and get something onto the puck. Italy survived, but Norway camping themselves inside the opposition zone. Bakker immediately shut off by three white jerseys, but that leaves the space for Nordstoga to tread into. Bakker again, really coming to the floor is Bakker, but he gives it away. Italy failing to make the most of it on the first phase, but Kalagaris once again flirting with the Norwegian defensive zone. And he was off balance as he fired one towards goal from a long way out. And possession back with Norwegian sticks again. Well dealt with by Lapurdi. A pulsating contest here in Group A, coming towards its final 3.5 minutes. Have Norway got one last response? They managed to conjure one up late on in the second period. And the signs are that they may get one last sniff. Pedersen into the space on the far side. Bogler just as committed there, as was Stephen Kaufman. Italy are staying strong, but will their resilience be broken by the ever so experienced Norwegian outfit? Riise. Well, it's always difficult in para ice hockey to be in a sitting position and then be asked to manoeuvre the puck with you forwards at pace, and he was looking for an option there, didn't have one. There's more red jerseys around the Italian goal now, and Bakker has scored! Norway with a huge equaliser with 2.5 minutes remaining. The pressure was getting greater and greater, and eventually it told. Araudo beaten. Bakke scores, 2 apiece. Well, a tap on the head there from Bakke onto Pedersen, because he was a big part of that play. Just managed to conjure up the pass for Bakke, who expertly channeled the puck towards that far corner of Gabriel Araudo's net. And Araudo's reflexes have been on point in this game so far, but he was never going to stop that. And relief, just as much as ecstasy, the main emotion for Norway right now. This game set for overtime with 2.5 minutes to go.
Team Norway goal scored by number 22, Bakke Audun. Assist to number 16, Knut Andre Nordstoga. And number 3, Rolf Einar Pedersen.
Well, I said at the start of this game that nerves would be prominent in both outfits. They'll have dampened down as the game's gone on, but now we're poised at this position. I think they may be beginning to creep back in. Adrenaline certainly running through the veins of both outfits. And as you just feel with the way that this has gone, there is a winner for either side in this, in regulation. As the puck is stuck on the backboard, we're not going to get any action in front of goal. Well, that's the case, and there's a stick loose as well. It's been a blood and thunder affair, this, as we suspected it would be, and it has not disappointed. These are 2 European nations who have both come to Pyeongchang hopeful of a podium spot at the end of their time here. Norway prominent performers in the top trio of Paralympic games gone by. Italy now mixing it with the big boys as well. And both sides at a crossroads. Nordstoga again, faultless. Bakke just trying to move the puck on in its intended direction. Into the final minute, no real action since the goal. Are we going to overtime? Maybe there's one last opportunity. Klake back into the mixture. Very good play that from Larch back there. Maybe just 20 years of age, but already in his second Paralympics. And not looking out of place at all, but now he's not in that space that Solberg will make most of and miss. That was huge, and Solberg, the captain for Norway, may have blown it. Bakke denied by Araudo, and goodness me, that was Norway's chance to take 3 points. Lloyd Solberg denied by that man again, Gabriel Araudo. And then Bakke afterwards thumped one towards Araudo's goal, and he made his 9th save of the match. Solberg completely missing the target, and then Bakke managing to get towards goal. How big a chance will that prove to be? Pedersen, one last hopeful. Bogler, great denial there from Planka, and that should be that. This one will go to overtime. Norway 2, Italy 2. We knew it would be close before this game. Both sides meeting each other halfway on the ladder. And at the end of it, nothing between the two outfits. Overtime is in store. Goalless after the first period, both sides notching a goal in the second, and the same for the third as well. It means at the end of this one, it's Norway 2, Italy 2, overtime to come.
Fans, as the score is tied at the end of regulation, a 5-minute sudden death overtime will follow after a 3-minute intermission.
3피리어드까지 무승부인 관계로 3분의 휴식 시간 후 5분간의 서든데스 연장전이 시작될 예정입니다.
Well, breathless stuff all the way through that 45 minutes, and we're going to be trekked to a bit more of the action as well. A game that already had high stakes before it. Both sides will take at least a point away. But close on goals, shots on goal in that third period as well, 5 apiece. Same amount of penalties for both sides, and also on the face-off, Norway coming out on top by the odd face-off in 13. Big team talks being made on both benches. Norway, you would suspect, with a bit more wind in their sails after being the latest side to score. But this seems like a complete flip of the game that both sides encountered in the semi-finals of the Four Nations tournament in January, just before this Paralympic Games, where it was Norway on that occasion who kept going in front, pegged back by Italy all the way. Into overtime it went, and it was Italy that managed to take the lead for the first time in that one. Will we have the complete flip reversal here?
이쪽으로 파도 타기를 가보도록 하겠습니다. 이쪽으로 갈 거예요. 자, 다 같이 준비되셨나요? 오케이, 준비되셨나요?
Stats for the shots on goal, as I mentioned, just as close as the scoreline. As the crowd are being pumped up for this 5-minute overtime, where of course both sides will go down to the 4-on-4. The Mexican wave in full swing. And this game is certainly of the same effect as well. We will find a winner out soon, but who will it be, Norway or Italy? We have 5 minutes of overtime. Will the two teams be separated now? Well, of course, it's been a very intense game. That was always going to be the case, but it's important for Italy with a quick changeover with the game on day 2 against Canada. Norway have the day's rest after this, and they'll certainly make the most of that. So they may as well go out full tilt and on a high, and Bacca looking to make most of the extra space. It's a good interception from Laperdi, who just put his body and his stick in the way. Oiseh stuck in a corner with 2 or 3 white jerseys around him. It was Bacca trying to help, but Italy squeezed their way over the blue line and back into the neutral zone, and maybe give a bit of a respite for the back line. Line change as well being made during that play. Rossa just jumping into the far corner. Of course, Gianluigi Rossa, the man who made it 2-1 to Italy, he seemed to have got the winning goal. And as Planka loses his stick and gets himself back up again to get back on defensive duties. Rossa nipping in very well, and Planka's still up there, but Bacca just slides in front of him and gets possession, and Oiseh's with him. As is Clackegg. Bacca, will he go alone? Back for Clackegg, real chance. Clackegg still worming his way through, and the option with Oiseh in the middle just evaporated there. Oiseh drifted around the back of the net. Clackegg didn't have an angle to shoot, and the opportunity fizzled out, but still Araudo heroics at the back. The Italian goaltender getting his glove on it. But Norway, again, the ones looking most likely, which hasn't been the story of the game. But at the back end of period 3 after their equaliser and at the start of overtime as well, the opportunities have favoured them. Planka. No options really in front of him, but there's space for Rossa. It's fortuitous there, Rossa, that he found Planka, who was strengthened out of it by Solberg. Pedersen. Chance for his experience to tell as he just puts it into an area that could trouble Araudo, who comes up trumps. But Italy penned well back in their own territory. Rossa. Winkler's on the near side. There's an option over towards the left as well, but Pedersen just blocked any daylight that Winkler had there. And now Bogler. End-to-end stuff. We're halfway through overtime. Still no goals. Varnes back across, and Araudo getting his left glove in the way when Bogler was at the back. Bogler was being well marshalled out of it anyway. Solberg surveying the scene. The option ahead of him is Varnes trying to get down the middle. Here he is now. Varnes has Solberg busting a gut to get with him. He might not need him, and he fires it wide once again. How many opportunities are the Norwegians going to pass here? And will Italy punish them? Calageras is the most likely to, but couldn't prevent the icing there. Well, how are your nerves? This one is going to go right down to the death. Araudo, a big part to play in that. Big interception from him. Not just the saves that Gabriel Araudo has made in this game that have been important, but that interception there could be just as much of a goal saver. Let's not forget that Kjell Hammer, during regulation as well, kept Norway in with a shout. And with Italy going in front on 2 occasions, but despite good opportunities, they just couldn't put this argument to bed. Icing against Italy, who have struggled seriously to get outside of their own end zone in overtime so far. Bakker jostling away with it. It will come to a red jersey in Nordstoga, once again just planting his authority on the puck. Nordstoga once more. 2 assists to his name in this game. Nordstoga, will he go himself? Denied again by Araudo. Seemed to flick off his right elbow there, the Italian stopper, who is denying the puck from going in his goal with everything at the moment. Into the final 60 seconds. Calageras, Hammer trying to not give him an inch. Calageras has an option with him. He'll go for goal himself. It'll come out, and Hamer somehow at the second attempt just squeezing it away, despite Laperdi bursting in towards his goal. That's been Hegda bellowing out instructions on the far side. Bakker managing to keep the puck under his spell. The Italian body's tiring out, so he will be allowed a bit more time, will Bakker. Hamra, final movement of the game before Rossa gets the interception in, and I think Italy here are just going to settle for the shootout at the end, are they? The countdown is on. The crowd are well aware, and they will lead us with their roar into a shootout. 5 minutes of overtime, which Norway dominated but couldn't put the puck into the goal. We are at 2 apiece, and we are going to go all the way to the shootout. Welcome back to the Gangneung Hockey Centre, where Norway and Italy are going all the way to a shootout to decide who will be taking the 2 points from this Group A clash here on day one of Pyeongchang 2018, the Paralympic Winter Games. The standard has already been set incredibly high by these two European outfits who are gunning for medals here in the Republic of Korea. And quite fitting, really, that this contest will boil down to the two goaltenders, Kjell Hammer in the Norwegian goal and Gabriele Raudo in the Italian net, who have both had serial amounts of shots to face as the game has worn on. Italy have had 17 shots on goal, 5 more than Norway's 12, but Norway having the much bigger opportunity ever since the game went to 2-2 at the back end of the third period. Overtime was very much Norway's to win, and now it's the captain Solberg to try and get the shootout off to a good start here. And it's denied by Gabriele Raudo, who was not budging an inch, was he, before Solberg let fly there. And the Norwegian captain, who had that big chance at the end of regulation, fails to make amends as Gabriele Raudo extends his impressive performance. Now the pendulum swinging to Kjell Hammer, as there will be a restart ordered by the referee. There are 2 pucks on the ice. Now it's Niels Larch, the 20-year-old, fearless throughout the game. Will the pressure get to him now? Oh, it certainly won't, will it? And if it did, he certainly used it as fuel to motor him towards that goal. A wonderful bit of stick handling there in front of Kjell Hammer. Just slid it underneath the sledge with the right blade, and then beautifully lofted it in with the left. Caressed that puck fantastically, did Niels Larch. And it's advantage Italy. But Norway have already come back on 2 occasions to get the game to this point, but they won't on that. The miss from Vatnau. Don't even think that required a touch from Gabriele Raudo. Had to smack the helmet, didn't it, of the Italian shot stopper. And goodness me, has he been a shot stopper in this game. So Italy to win it. Gianluigi Rossa, the man who put them 2-1 up, doesn't even get the shot away. And a lifeline for Norway as Rossa there saw the puck squirm away from his right blade when he seemed to have it under so much control. Hamer not having to do a thing apart from guard his net and watch it, thankfully for him, drift wide. So now the opposite number 3, Rolf Pedersen, the 48-year-old veteran, smacks the pipe, and that is that. Norway with 3 blanks in the shootout, gifting Italy the win that they seem to have claimed on 2 occasions during regulation, and finally on the shootout they do enough, as every single member of the Italian roster makes their way onto the ice to congratulate Gabriele Raudo, who didn't have to do much with Rolf Pedersen's effort there, just thumping off the bar clean. But Raudo making some huge saves during the match, and 2 big saves as well in the shootout. And Italy will get 2 points on the board. As for Norway, consolation in the fact that they do register the 1 point and fought back very well indeed in the third period to cancel out Gianluigi Rossa's 2-1 goal.
Let's give both teams a round of applause for their outstanding
Italy
effort throughout today's
with
game.
the 1 point advantage after their first game here on day 1 of Pyeongchang 2018, the Paralympic Winter Games. That could be a pivotal result at the end of the group standings. But for now, Norway will have day 2 off to recover before they face the world champions Canada. Italy's task against the Canadians will arrive on day 2. No rest for the Italians.
종료되었으니 다음 경기 준비를 위해 장내에 계시는 관중 여러분께서는 모두 퇴장해 주시길 바랍니다.
As both
If you are attending the next
sets of
hockey
players
session,
respectfully
please
fist
exit the
pump
building
one
at
another.
this time, and then
But it will be
re-enter.
Italy and those who have made the trip from the Mediterranean to the northeast of Republic of Korea who will be smiling after that one. They'll certainly be exhausted both sides, but Italy with the jubilation of the shootout success. Norway 2, Italy 2 after overtime. Italy on top after the shootout.
30분에 시작되겠습니다. 장내가 혼잡하오니 관중 여러분의 안전을 위해 운영 인력의 통제에 따라 퇴장해 주시길 바랍니다. 관중 여러분의 양해 부탁드립니다.
Are they doing awards or anything? Like MVP? They want the cup. Can we ask? They can't have it. What? Well, of course. They want the puck. Are you guys keeping the pucks? Yeah, just get one of those. Yeah. They don't have it.
So after a very tight first period and the floodgates seeming to open in the second after Sandro Calageras gave Italy the lead, Norway were never wanting to be beaten. On 2 occasions during the game they came back from a goal behind to level things up, but ultimately after dominating overtime it was the Italians in the shootout that managed to make it count. Niles Larch coming up to the fore and notching the only goal of it as Norway failed to score from each of their 3 attempts, meaning that at the end of this Group A clash between Norway and Italy, both sides are off the mark in terms of points, but it is the Italians who take the lion's share.